Grade 2's hi! I've got the wild robot here, and I'm going to read it to you with permission from Little Brown and Company. And it's written by Peter Brown, as you knew. So we're on chapter 34, and this reading is going to consist of chapters 34, 35, and 36. Like most goslings, Bright Bill followed his mother everywhere. He was a slow, tottering little thing, but Roz was rarely in a hurry, and together they loved meandering along the forest paths and around the banks of the pond. However, they spent most of their time right in their own garden. You see, the garden was no longer scraggly. Thanks to the robot's careful attention, it was now bursting with colors and scents and flavors. Clearly, Roz was designed to work with plants. "Oh, Roz, you've been busy," said Tawny as her family grazed on the wonderland of growing things. "Your garden is glorious. You'll be seeing quite a lot of us around here." Tawny meant what she said. Each morning around daybreak, Roz and Bright Bill would hear quiet footsteps outside the nest, and there would be Tawny and Crown Point and their fawns, Willow, Thistle, and Brook, happily nibbling on the garden. The deer weren't the only regular visitors. The beavers became quite fond of gnawing on certain hardy shrub at the edge of the garden. Digdown, the old groundhog, popped up to munch on berries. Broadfoot, the giant bull moose, came by to chew on tree shoots. And of course, bees and butterflies were there every day, happily floating through the flowers. There always seemed to be friendly animals hanging around the garden. It was amazing how differently everyone treated Roz these days. Animals who once ran from the robot in fear now stopped by the nest just to spend time with her. The neighbors smiled and waved whenever Roz and Bright Bill wandered past. And at the dawn truce, the other mothers were eager to share their parenting advice. Make sure Bright Bill gets plenty of rest. A tired gosling is a cranky gosling. When the wind starts blowing from the north, you must immediately get Bright Bill to safety. North winds always bring bad weather. You'll never be the perfect mother, so just do the best you can. All Bright Bill really needs to know is that you're doing your best. No gosling ever had a more attentive mother. Roz was always there, ready to answer her son's questions, or to play with him, or to rock him to sleep, or to whisk him away from danger. With a computer brain packed full of parenting advice and the lessons she was learning on her own, the robot was actually becoming an excellent mother. Chapter 35, The First Swim. "Good afternoon, you two," said Loudwing as she waddled into the garden. "Remember me, Bright Bill?" "Loudwing! Loudwing!" "Very good," the old goose giggled. "Now, Roz, do you know what tomorrow is?" "Tomorrow is swimming day." "The day when all the parents take their goslings out on the pond for the first time, and you simply must bring Bright Bill." "Swim! Swim!" said the gosling, shaking his tail feathers. "Bright Bill can go," said Roz, "but I cannot swim. I cannot go on the pond with him. I will not be able to protect him." "Who'd have thought a big thing like you would be afraid of a little water?" Loudwing laughed. "Well, don't you worry about Bright Bill. He'll be safe in the flock, and he's going to have so much fun swimming with the other goslings. We begin at sunrise, so don't be late. See you in the morning." And with that, the goose plopped into the water and glided away. "Swim, swim," said the gosling. "Yes, Bright Bill," said the robot, staring at the pond. "Swim, swim." Early the next morning, peeps and honks and splashes began echoing across the calm water. Roz and Bright Bill followed a trail through the fog and over to a beach that was crawling with fluffy goslings and proud parents. Roz took a few steps into the water, and her survival instincts immediately flared up. The robot's computer brain knew that if water got inside her body, it could do serious damage. And so, as the other parents began swimming across the pond, Roz stood safely in the shallows and watched. Brightbill ran up and down the beach with the other goslings peeping and laughing and pretending to be afraid of the tiny waves. When one wave finally pulled him in, he felt his body floating on top of the water. A big smile appeared on the gosling's face. Clearly, Brightbill was designed to swim. "Very good, Brightbill," said Loudwing as she floated past. "You're a natural." "Yes, Brightbill, you are a natural," said Roz, trying to sound like a good mother. Loudwing rounded up all the goslings and gave them a quick swimming lesson. "Remember, everyone, paddle your feet evenly to swim in a straight line. Paddle with your right foot to go left, and paddle with your left foot to go right. Try it out and join the rest of us when you're ready. Happy swimming day." Loudwing and the other adult geese calmly glided toward the center of the pond. A jumble of goslings tried to keep up with them. The youngsters jostled and splashed and peeped with excitement, and gradually they paddled in the direction of their parents. Only Brightbill lagged behind. "Mama, swim?" Roz pointed to the flock. "I cannot swim. Go have fun with the other geese. You will be safe with them." The gosling took a deep breath. Then he shook his tail feathers and paddled his feet and set out on his very first swim. He drifted too far to the left. Then he drifted too far to the right. But his feet just kept paddling until he caught up with all the other goslings. Roz spent the morning watching her son swim around and around the pond. And as she watched him, she felt something like gratitude. Thanks to Brightbill, the robot now had friends and shelter and help. Thanks to Brightbill, the robot had become better at surviving. In a way, Roz needed Brightbill as much as Brightbill needed Roz, which was precisely why she felt such concern when the mood on the pond suddenly changed. One moment, everything was tranquil, and the next moment, the geese were in a panic. Something was violently sloshing the group. It was Rockmouth, the giant, toothy pike. The fish had been a problem in the pond for as long as anyone could remember, but he'd never attacked goslings before. All the parents immediately went to protect their young, all parents except Roz. The robot could only stand in the shallows and watch as her son left the other geese behind and desperately swam toward his mother. "Swim to me, Brightbill, quickly!" The gosling kicked as fast as he could, but alone on the water, he made an easy target. The pond rippled as Rockmouth slashed below the surface. "Mama, help!" squeaked Brightbill. The robot was terribly conflicted. Part of her knew she had to help out her son, but another part knew she had to stay out of deep water. Her body lurched forward and then backward, again and again, as she struggled to make a decision. Then Loudwing came to the rescue. "Rockmouth, don't you dare harm that little darling." The goose fluttered over and splashed down right on top of the fish. "Leave him alone." She pecked and kicked and beat her wings against the fish until he surrendered to the murky depths of the pond. Loudwing escorted Brightbill back to the beach, and a minute later, the gosling was in his mother's arms, safe and sound. "Rockmouth isn't as dangerous as he seems," said the goose, out of breath, "but I think that's enough swimming for one day." Chapter 36, The Gosling Grows. Brightbill soon forgot about the incident with Rockmouth, and he spent his mornings cruising around the pond with the other goslings. He was becoming a great little swimmer. He was also becoming a great little speaker. "Hello, my name is Brightbill," he said to anyone who would listen. The gosling was small for his age, and he always would be, but he was growing bigger and stronger by the day. His increasing size was matched by his increasing appetite. He gobbled down grass and berries and nuts and leaves. Sometimes he'd snack on little insects. If it was edible, Brightbill would eat it. And if it wasn't edible, he might eat it anyway. Roz felt something like fright the first time she saw Brightbill swallowing pebbles on the beach. She was holding him upside down, hoping the pebbles would fall out of his mouth, when Loudwing stepped in. "Put the gosling down," said the goose with a laugh. It's perfectly natural for Brightbill to eat a few pebbles. They'll help him digest his food, but not too many, okay, little one? Like most youngsters, Brightbill was incredibly curious. He explored the garden and the pond and the forest floor, and he would occasionally explore the neighboring homes. He'd wander down some hole in the ground and say to whoever was there, "Hello, my name is Brightbill." Then a long robot arm would reach in and pull the gosling back outside. "Sorry to bother you," Roz would say, in her friendliest voice. The mother and son slipped into a good nighttime routine. While the gosling slept, the robot might tend the fire if it was cool out, or gently fan him if it was warm. If he woke up hungry or thirsty, Roz brought him food or water. And whenever he had nightmares, she was always there to rock him back to sleep. And that, my friends, is the end, I think, of chapter 36. We'll see you again soon.